Good morning, it's Laurie from PassionatePennyPincher.com, and today we're talking about budgeting, and I want to know if this is something that you do with your money or not. We are going to talk through how our family does our budget and what we do, what we do when we're being perfect every 2 weeks, and sometimes we do it, sometimes we miss it, and we have missed it for quite a while over the holidays, but today I went to the bank and I got my cash, and so I'm gonna try it out. I'm also gonna work through kind of how we do our budget worksheet and show you guys how we do that. We have done the Ultimate Home Challenge. A lot of y'all are in the group. You can still order the list if you want to. The budgeting portion is in there, but we had some questions about how we do our budget. So I thought I would just show it to you exactly as we do it. So when you do your budget every month, there are 3 sections of your budget. You have a section, and I'd love to hear if you guys do your bills similarly or not. Melissa, I did. I kept the shirt from yesterday, which I love. So we have 3 sections in our family's budget, and I think I just messed up my pile, so y'all are gonna have to help me out here. We have 3 sections. We have things that have to be paid as a bill. So those are things like your water bill, your house bill, your mortgage payment, your car payment, your phone bill, all those things. Those are bills. So that's one category. Category number 2 is savings. Savings are things like car repairs. How many of you guys know you're gonna have a car repair and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a car repair at some point, but I'm not gonna worry about it? Give me a like if that's what you do. Let me tell you, cars are gonna have to have tires. Cars are gonna have oil changes. Cars are gonna have to we just had one that we were worried had an alternator or battery issue yesterday. Those money for things like that in our budget goes into a separate savings. So we have our bill pay, we have our separate savings account, which is for anything that's like we know is gonna happen. There's no way we're gonna make it without a car issue. That's gonna happen. So that goes into a savings account. And then our 3rd section is our cash section. And this is what we get at the ATM every 2 weeks. We go and pick up our cash. And the thing about this is it keeps us, whether you have 0 money, whether you have a tiny budget, whether you have a massive budget, this helps us say, this is what we want our money to do for us. And so it's super important. Oh, Amy, I'm so glad. Okay, so do we keep everything from Stitch Fix? Susie, I'm still on the fence. I'm keeping the top from Stitch Fix. So Bridget, you said you're doing great with the cleaning part, but not the budgeting. Well, let's hop on the budget today because it's gonna help you so much. So here's what I want you to do. So what we do personally, and you can get the budget worksheet that we use. Click the link in the video for the Ultimate Home Checklist. It includes our budgeting worksheets, or you can get a free one for sure online as well. So there are definitely free options. So don't feel like you have to do that. You don't have to spend the money to get these. Get a free one online, but you have to have a budget. You have to have a budget. Okay, so what we do is here's my money, and I'm gonna actually show you guys what my money looks. Doesn't my money look so pretty? It's so pretty, except that y'all know this is all spent, right? This is not real money. This is totally spent money, because the reality is we all gotta go and spend some money. So the areas that we have envelopes for, and I'm just gonna be honest and tell you this is how we did it in our early days. We do not run envelopes now, which is why I'm making them up to show you guys, but we did do this faithfully for years and years and years. So the envelopes that we would have are our grocery envelope, and we would get these every 2 weeks. These are not fancy envelopes, and like I said, I keep mine actually in my wallet, but I just am showing this to show you guys as a visual. Then we have our eating out budget, which I'm ashamed to tell you matches our grocery budget, which says that my groceries are really cheap and we like to eat out too much. We don't eat out a ton, but we'll talk about that in a second. We have our clothing budget. And you can see these are just plain old envelopes. You could probably snag envelopes just about anywhere. Dry cleaning. I just spelled cleaning wrong. Then we have our entertainment budget, which would be like if we want to go see a movie, or the kids want to go, I don't know, do anything fun at all. It all costs money. And then we have our hair care, which I'm gonna confess to you, my husband doesn't put enough in this one, so I spend it anyways. So that's just real life. There we go. So those are our budgets right there. Those are the things that we've got. Can y'all see those? I think we're missing, that's all of them. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put money into each of these envelopes. So remember, we have 3 categories in our budget, and we're gonna work through the budget in just a second. I'll work through that. I'll show you how we do that in just a moment. So when we're budgeting, what we're gonna do is our eating out budget. I do these every 2 weeks, so this is each for 2 weeks. We spend about $100 a week on eating out. We go out to eat about 3 to 4 times and we spend around $30-ish. We don't eat out fancy, but we spend $100. So I'm gonna put $200 into that envelope, okay? We spend $100 at the grocery store every week. So I've got 2 weeks. So remember, this is 2 weeks. So I'm spending 120, 40, 60, 80, $200 on groceries. So every week we spend about $100 on groceries. We actually probably spend less, but if I have less money there, then I can spend more on eating out. I like to eat out. There you go. So there's that. Somebody said they can't afford those extras. Let me tell you, there was a season when our clothing budget was like $5. So it's all a season. We had a lot of years where all we did was Goodwill and I actually consigned things. So it depends on where you're at. I'm just showing you kind of an example for some of you, because the reality is for most of you, give me a heart or like, how many of you guys spend $50 a month on clothing? How many? How many of you spend more than that? So we're gonna put money into our thing. Again, I'm putting in 50. Now this would include I'm budgeting. So remember, this is the whole year. I've got 3 kids. I have to clothe them as they grow, okay? So the reality is we spend $100 a month because over the course of the year, we spend $1,200 to clothe 5 people. So for some people, you may say that's way too much, and that may be way too much for you. And remember, there were years when we did not do this. So what if you shop for clothes online? Catherine, that's a great question. And I will tell you, that is one thing about this, that we typically do not keep this one out in cash because we do buy a lot of stuff online. But if you're a bare bones starting out, I would encourage you to stick with the envelope method. But if not, just make sure you're using your debit card online and that you're writing that down somewhere so you know how much you spend. Hair care is $30 for the month. So this one is actually for the whole month, not just for this week. My husband gets his hair cut. We don't do a whole lot with hair care stuff. I do spend a little bit more, but like I said, I don't tell him that. So that's kind of my one I'm not super always honest on. And then, which one did I miss? Entertainment. So the reality is you're probably gonna go see a movie, and if you go see a movie, you're gonna spend $50 if you see 1 month's movie this month. So you need to have a budget. The thing is, a lot of people will say, well, I don't have money in my budget for that. Well, the truth is, if you're going out to the movie ever, then spending that money, then you've just blown that money. Now, what you could do is, let's say that you want to spend $50. You want to go to the movies. You really, really want to go to the movies. But the regular movies cost $50. But you realize, you know what? We really need extra, my kids need an extra shirt this month. You could say, you know what? We're not going to go to the movie. We're going to watch a movie on Netflix, or we're going to go to the dollar theater. You could come up with ways to make this less, and then you can just stick it right here because you may need it right there more. And then the last thing was dry cleaning. And we probably spend less than $10 a month on dry cleaning, but it is good to have it. So what's nice is it gives you some wiggle room that at the end of the month, if you have way too much, and this is just an example, guys, this is gonna be different for everyone. So you may spend more at the grocery store than $100 a month, $100 a week. That's just what we spend. So you have to figure out what works for you. Now these are our cash things, right? And my husband's gonna be super excited because I have not been great about doing these lately, and he likes it when we do these because it keeps us on task. Now let's do the big budget. So then we have our budget spreadsheet, and you can click the link in the video and get all of our home checklist, but you can also get these for free for sure. So you do not have to use the planner to get these. Like, you can find these online for free. We've got a free printable one. This is just an example. This is the one I'm actually using mine. I printed this one out so you guys could see it, but I've got mine in the binder. But you can get all of the home checklists too. But again, I'm not here to tell you you need to buy the home checklist. If you're interested, you can buy them. But there is a section in them that is for budgeting. And the budgeting section is what I wanted to walk through today because some folks had questions about it. So I just thought we would walk through it. So here is our January budget. I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to see this. Let me see if we can figure out how to make this so y'all can see it. Okay, can y'all see this? It's gonna be upside down, isn't it? If I can't do it that way. I don't think I can do it that way. Is that gonna work? How do you get the free printable budget? Jennifer, if you Google Passionate Penny Pincher budget, we'll stick a link in here too. but you should be able to find a Passionate Penny Pincher free printable budget spreadsheet. And there's lots of people who have them. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do this way. Okay, sorry guys. So I went off of some numbers from a while ago just to give me some kind of an idea of what we spend. The first thing we do is we do our church tithe. So we do give 10% to our church first. We just feel like God says to do it, so we do it. Then if we have any other donations, that's fine. So there's a place here for your budgeted amount, and then a place for your actual budget, okay? And this is actually not our personal budget, so I'm just going through some numbers from, actually these were our numbers 8 years ago, I think. So anyways, okay, so the college fund is $100. This is something that like I said, this was 8 years ago for us. I just went and looked at an old one. This one is something that would go into your savings account. Your new car fund. Guys, I am all about, I feel like the biggest change in our finances came when we were able to pay cash for our cars. Guys, it is a game changer. So now we save all the time. We always save for a new car. So we don't have any car payment, but we're constantly saving for a potential new car. Again, these are not necessarily actual numbers. That actually is an actual number. We still save $200 a month for that. So that money goes in there. Then a savings account. Guys, we always put $200 into savings. Granted, y'all, we are at a place where we can do that. We did not always do that. We always made sure our budget was like that we had enough to cover the basics, but then when you get to a place that you can have a savings account, that's amazing. So that's your budgeted, this is your actual, and then these are your totals. So my totals for these sections right now are, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna do our mortgage. And again, we're gonna say our mortgage is $600. We're gonna say our homeowner's insurance, which some of these were exactly right, was $44. Real estate taxes for us are crazy. It was $1,000. Homeowners association fee is $50. Repairs are $100. That's repairs on the house. The reality is you're gonna have to have repairs on your home. You're gonna need your car, something is gonna break in your house, I guarantee you. It's a 100% chance that something is gonna break on your house. If you're not budgeting for that and you're spending all your money on hair stuff or Starbucks or Netflix, you're gonna be in trouble when the water heater breaks. So you have to have money in your budget for home repairs. Replacing furniture. My husband does not like replacing furniture. And so I tell him just put $100 a month in there. That does not happen. That never happens. So in our actual, that will never ever happen. I just promise you that. But that's my dream world, is he'd give me $100 to replace furniture, because that'd be $1,200 a year, one piece of furniture a year. But that's a dream for us. We never do that. Pest control, yard maintenance, $30. Then, like this month, we won't actually spend any on yard maintenance or replacing furniture. Okay, so then the next section is our utilities. So we're gonna say we budgeted $200, but our actual bill was $234. We budgeted $25 for natural gas. Our actual bill was $24. We budgeted $30 for trash pickup. That's actually what we spent. We budgeted $40 for water. We actually spent $39. We budgeted $160 for cable. We actually spent $158. We budgeted $250 for home phone. We actually spent $244. So our totals here were $729. Grocery for us, like I said, is $400. Eating out is $400, which is terrible. And I'm just being honest, that really is what we spend now. That's just pretty consistent. We spend $400 eating out and $400 on groceries each month. It may be way more or less for you. Don't judge anybody else on how they spend. That's just what they do. We budget $100 a month to clothe our family for the year. So that means we have $1,200 for the year. Our dry cleaning, we budget at $20 a month, which is way higher than what it normally is. Entertainment is $100. We like vacation. So I am just gonna be really honest and tell you that I know that our family is gonna go on vacation this year. We love vacation. I know that we're gonna spend it. So we put $300 there because we love vacation. That's something that's important to our family. It was not something, let me tell you, we were not putting that much money there in the early days at all. We do not have a car payment, which is the best gift ever to yourself. If you can ever get out of a car payment, y'all, get out of a car payment. That is the best thing on the planet. Go with cheaper cars. You don't need fancy cars. Gas for our family is $300. Oil changes cost about $10. Repairs and tires, you're gonna have to have repairs and tires, so that's $25. Life insurance for us is $70. Optometry bills and prescriptions are $10. We have a great insurance, so that helps. Christmas gifts, we spend about $1,200 at Christmas, so that's $100 a month. Hair care, we talked about, was $30. Health club membership, we do spend $100 a month on our health club membership. I love it. It is the best gift to myself. Again, these were not our numbers when our budget was really tight. We have some more wiggle room now. So we're gonna go through here, and again, these are not even our actual numbers really today. This is just an idea. So what you can see here is our monthly, I think our total was like $55.78, which is a lot. And I was sitting there today, I thought, no wonder we feel like we never have any money. That's exactly why. But the truth is, so now if there was any extra money or less money, you have to figure out where to make the wiggle room. Now, I wanna tell you something real fast as I talk through all that, and I could not see any of your comments, so I have no idea what y'all were saying as we were talking about that. I want you to know this, Michael, we've been doing this for 20 years. I do not want you to watch me and say, oh my goodness, you have all this money and it's so easy for you. I've been pinching pennies since I was 21 years old. When we were 21 years old, we were doing this. We lived in a yucky, nasty house. We fixed it up. We worked hard to come up with ways to make extra income. I work 50 to 60 hours a week. So I want you to understand that where my budget is today is not where your budget's gonna be. There were years and years and years where our money for clothing was completely funded through consignment sale shops. So I want you to know, I don't care if you have $1,000 to live on this month or $15,000. I don't care what your budget is. You have to decide what your money does, because if you don't, like, we have dream big goals. Like, there's some big things that I want to see happen. If I just said, well, I'm just gonna spend my money whatever, and when it's gone, those dream big goals aren't gonna happen because I haven't made my money work for me. By doing this, I can say, you know what? I don't wanna spend $200 eating out. I wanna spend $200 that I can put into paying off my house so I can be debt free so that I can go and travel some more. Does that make sense? So Cindy, you said you don't get the total number. Okay, so I think, Cindy, you were the one who asked the question. So Cindy, the total is so that you can bring this total here. It's just kind of the way you do a spreadsheet. So your total is, if your church tithe and your donations, you're gonna add those up and have a total there so that it's easier to flow through the rest of the sheet. Does that make sense? Your oil change is $89 for an oil change, Johanna. Do they have coupons at your store? That's crazy. But remember, you're only doing that. You're not doing that every single month either. So that's why that might, like our oil change, we only budget, and this is not even accurate. I haven't checked that one in a while. For my one car, it's 30. And so if you figure I get it done once every 3 months, that's 30. So if it was $89 for you and you get it done every 3 months, then you need to budget $30 each month for your oil changes. Does that help? Does that help? You don't get your oil change over, yeah, you get it month. So, right. So you're gonna save each month for those things. So you start in the beginning of the month and review the month. So yes, Denise, that's such a great question. And my husband and I have not done this in forever. So I'm kind of excited because we're gonna work on it too together. Because it's so important to do it. Like, I totally believe in it. We just haven't, we've been in a place where we have enough, which has been like, I wish I could give you what it feels like. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I went the other day to the store. Tide is my laundry detergent of choice. It is expensive. It's really expensive. Like, it's stupid. I literally sat there. The Tide was not on sale. There were no coupons. There was no way. I sat there for about 5 minutes in the aisle and I was like, I really want the Tide. But I can't in my head wrap my brain around paying full price for Tide. I couldn't do it. So I went and I looked at the Purex and I looked at the Oxy and I looked at the Sun and I was like, I could get those for so much cheaper. I then did the price per ounce. The price per ounce on the Sun and the Oxy was 14 cents per ounce. The price on the Tide without any sale, because I was gonna buy the big bottle, was, I think it was like 18 cents an ounce. I sat there for so long debating if I could afford the Tide. I was like, can I do that? And then I thought, you know what? We have enough money. I can afford to pay 5 cents more per ounce now. Guys, I've been doing this for 23 years. That's the first time at 43 years old that I paid full price for Tide without feeling guilty. And I still felt a little guilty, but my laundry smelled really good and I decided that that was okay. But I just want you to know it takes a long time to get to this. So don't feel like anybody else's finances, first of all, and don't feel like you're stuck in your place. Like if you're feeling stuck and you feel like your finances are out of control, there are two things you can do. You can make a budget and you can save some money and you can put it on paper and you can spend what you have. That's number one. And I want you to do that because you have no excuse. There is no excuse on this planet for you not to stick to a budget. Number two, you can find a way to make more money. There are so many ways to make money. I started blogging because I needed to make money. Literally, I started blogging and I had no idea. I didn't even know how to use a computer, like nothing. And I figured it out. So if I can do this, you can do this. You can help babysit other people's kids. You can, it's tax season. There are lots of tax places who are probably looking for some help. You might be able to find some seasonal work helping out at a tax place. You can find something. So you can either save money or you can make money. I like doing both because it makes it easier. It goes faster. So I'm gonna answer a couple questions. Yeah, Karen, I forgot totally. I totally didn't think I could afford the Tide, and then I was like, this is silly. You can buy the Tide. I'll answer any questions y'all have for them for sure, that you guys have. And but I encourage you, make your budget. Sit down with your husband or spouse or significant other this weekend and decide to do this. Sit down with your family and say, guys, what do we really want? For us, we want a paid off house and we want to vacation more. Those are our two big dream goals. So I don't need a bigger house. I love my house the way it is. I don't want a more house at all. I just want to travel more and I want to have this paid off. So those are our big goals. So what are your questions? You're at that place right now where you started to have enough. Isn't it crazy, Johanna, to go from that place of not having enough to having enough? And it's a really weird change. Like, it's like, oh, I can afford to buy that, which is what I want for every one of you watching. That's my dream for you. It's important to learn. So if things change, you know what to do. That is so true. It is. Stacy just said it's important to know how to budget so that if things change, you know how to. Yes, and that's why we want to get our house paid off so that we're not worried about that. I kept the shirt. Yes, I did. Where can you get this worksheet? You can click the link in the video and get the printable 2019 home checklist. It's included in there. But this one, it's like $15 for the whole year of checklists. You do not have to do that. I'm not here to sell those at all. Like you don't have to do that. You can totally Google Passionate Penny Pincher free budget check sheet and free budget spreadsheet, and it should come up. What do you do when your husband what do you do when your husband, Christy, I'm trying to see. Hang on, I lost your question. Christy, I was trying to answer it. I can't find your question. I'm so sorry. What do you do when your husband thinks it's okay to spend money instead of paying bills? Christy, maybe sit down with him and just say, hey, listen, I would love, like if there's something big that he would love to have, like say he wants a big screen TV or a video game or a car or whatever. Maybe say, hey, listen, I know you've really been wanting this. Let's sit down and come up with a way that we can work together to get there. It may not work, not all. I'm super lucky to have a husband who really works with me on this. So we've come together on this point. I would really recommend, I would like 9 bajillion times recommend that if you have a family who is struggling with this, that you would look up a financial peace, Google Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University, see if they have a real class in your area. The book is great, but if you can take your spouse to a class by Dave Ramsey, I think it will change your life. It will never change if you're on a fixed income and you can't supplement your income. Pat, it is hard. If you're on a fixed income and you can't supplement your income in any way, that is hard. There might be something you could do. You never know though. Try to be creative. Maybe there's a way you could earn a little bit of money from home. Sit down and do a budget with him. Thank you, Stephanie. You no longer snub score brands big for you. Let's see. We've always done generic brands. I do like my Tide though. That's my one thing. You can still get you can't get this planner, Caitlin. We don't have any more of them that are already made up. So hopefully that helps. If we need a new car, better to take from savings or get monthly payments. If you need a new car payments are like, car payments are the hardest. If there is any way on the planet that you can go, if you're gonna get a car, go with the less expensive car and do not get yourself into a big, huge honkin' car payment. Car payments, I feel like, are the hardest things ever, and I'm so thankful. The minute that we came to a place where we didn't have to pay car payments, it was like a life changer for us. So even if it means you don't get a brand new car or you get a really well-used car, as long as it's something that's well-made, I would encourage you to think about that. Dave Ramsey Every Dollar app. I love the Every Dollar app. Thank you, Jill, for saying that. You hope your binder comes today. I hope it does too, Holly. we will not get any more made up of the binders at this point. We actually have 900 people on the waiting list. So I talked to my husband last night. The thing is, it's a lot of work on us shipping it. So we've just got to decide if we're really willing to go and ship. It took us it's a lot of work. So we're debating it, but as of right now, I'm saying no. We may change our minds. One way, we have a new car. When you start driving again, everything, cars are just expensive. And I think when you're in certain circumstances, like Bridget, I know you're in a wheelchair and probably have a lot of things to consider. You probably are in a place where you need to have a car that's crazy reliable. And so I think you have to look at your circumstances too and know what's best for your family in the situation you're in. No car payment, no house payment, no stress, but getting there was a lot of work. Rose, that's exactly it. People just don't realize it just takes a lot of work. Y'all love that app. I love that you love the Dave Ramsey app. Certified pre-owned for cars, give you practically brand new for half the price. Stacy, yes, we only buy, that's exactly what we buy, Stacy. We're the same way. We buy certified pre-owned cars and we save so much money on cars. Somebody says they sell jewelry to make money. Listen to Dave Ramsey podcast. Yes, listen to Dave Ramsey. Y'all, if you're struggling with your budget, check out the Dave Ramsey podcast. They're fantastic and will definitely help you out. Can you get a better price at the post office? A better price. I'm not sure what you're looking for a better price on. How do you get on the waiting list? Alice, if you go to the shop, there's a place for waiting list people, but I'm not sure where it's at. You may have to click around the page a little bit. If you can find the home planner, there should be a place there. We'll try to put that in. Do you use just one savings account for all home repairs extras? So yes, that's a great question. So somebody asked, do we use one savings account for all of our stuff? We have 3. Remember I told you there's 3 sections of your budget. There's the cash stuff that you're gonna keep in an envelope like this. There's the stuff that goes into savings, and then there's your bills. We put all of our savings into one account, but then we have one extra account that's like all of our big savings. So like we have like our emergency fund. If you guys are Dave Ramsey folks, you've probably heard of the emergency fund. We have that in a separate account. So that kind of hopefully that helps with that. Do you coupon? Yes, Jennifer, I coupon. Jennifer, I started Passionate Penny Pincher 9 years ago as a completely coupon blog. Couponing has changed a lot, so I use primarily digital coupons now, and I still save almost as much money. We spend about $100 a week to feed our family of 4, plus our kiddo at college, who's, that doesn't count as much, but we can definitely, in fact, we probably spend $70 to $80 a week on groceries. So we're just pretty frugal with groceries. Cars cost more than the long run when you finance it. Yeah, the interest is, if you can get ahead on those car payments, it's hard. It is so hard, but it's so worth it. You think you'll do the actual envelope for cash system? I would love to see how you guys do with that if you try it out. You do the same thing with your accounts. Coupon, yeah, everybody should coupon. You should, at the very minimum, you should know a sales ad and at least use digital coupons because it's so easy to do now. It's so easy. $100 a week, Meredith says, wow, for us it works, and it's probably actually, we spend probably less than that. You think 1,000, yes, Lena, you said a great comment. She said $1,000 a month as your emergency fund is the best thing. Yes, have your 1,000, when you have that $1,000 in savings, hopefully you won't have to use it, but you need that emergency fund so that if something happens in your life, like things happen, dishwashers break, heaters go out. It's just the reality of the world. If you do not have that money, I guarantee you something's going to break in your house. So if you're spending money on Starbucks, or if you're spending money on even McDonald's, but you don't have an emergency fund, you've got to rethink what you're doing. You've got to. So yeah, what's the best place for digital coupons? I love Kroger for digital coupons. Is there an app you recommend for digital coupons? I do it all through digital coupons at Kroger. So I'm a big Kroger shopper. So if you have a Kroger or a Kroger affiliate store in your area, that's a great option. Yeah, Susan, life happens all the time. You've got to have that money set aside. You're a family of 7 and spend 75 to 100 on a week. That's amazing. Donnell, you are a rock star. That's a lot of folks to feed on 75 to $100 a week. Great job. How did you get them to print it off? The checklist, I'd print it off at home. Coupon code, please. Let's see there. Let me see what else. If you have a good credit, the interest will be lower on your car if you do have good credit. Becca, if you don't have a Kroger, if you have a Kroger affiliate store, the other thing I'll tell you, for those of you who don't want to coupon and who are either just are too busy, don't have time, try out Aldi. Aldi has so many great deals. Really, really great prices, even without doing any work. So if you're looking for an easy way to save, try Aldi. I've had people say to me, Laurie, I can't figure out couponing. What do I do? And I told them, the only thing I want you to do is shop Aldi and see what happens. And literally, if you shop Aldi and have a menu plan, you will change your family's finances. What if you shop Walmart? Natasha, if you shop Walmart, try coupons.com for coupons. I will tell you, if you have almost any other store nearby, I feel like Walmart is really, really high. So if you have an Aldi, try Aldi over Walmart. If you do Walmart, I want you to shop with a grocery budget and with a grocery plan and with a menu plan. If you don't have a menu plan at Walmart, you can get totally eaten up for sure. Are you going to run more budget spiral books? Tracy, at this point, we're not. We may change our mind on that, but right now, we do have 900 people on the waiting list, so I'm considering it. Aldi does it. Yes, Aldi has just started shipped. So I think it's shipped. No, Instacart. So yeah, I'm actually gonna try it out. Do you have a class for couponing? Jennifer, we may have a class coming soon for couponing, so we will let you know if we do that for sure. You shop Aldi and fill in the gaps. Yeah, you can save so much at Aldi. To buy fresh organic produce, you couldn't shop for $100 a week. Amanda, you might be able to. You might surprise you. It might depend on how many people you buy for, but we pretty much, we shop for our family of 5. Now, one thing that we do that helps is we also, I will sometimes shop Fresh Time or Sprouts where they have crazy good deals on produce. We don't do organics. So if you're doing organics, it would be hard to do on $100 a week. I think you're probably right. Stop and Shop is expensive. Gina, you've never heard of an Aldi. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. You would love it if you had one. Okay, yeah, try Aldi for sure. For those of you who just really want to see yourselves take over your budget, try Aldi for sure. Y'all let me know how you do on your budget. I will be back Monday. Oh, I think we have something fun to talk about Monday. So I'll be back on Monday. Thank you so much for taking time to hang out with me this morning. I encourage you this weekend, please, 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 my goal for you this weekend is to sit down with your spouse or your significant other, sit down and do your budget, write it down on paper, get a plan in place, decide what you want to happen with your money. You can do this. It is so worth it. And then we will talk Monday morning. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.